welcome back to the podcast. This time out I'm speaking to Charlie McNichol, frontman of Stockport band The Rolling People. I just seen Charlie and the boys supporting Andrew Cushion on his latest tour. I seen them in Glasgow at the Oranmore. We spoke about that, plus The Rolling People have just released their latest single, Edge of the Knife. You'll get that in all streaming platforms, so we talked about that as well, and what's coming up, as well as taking a deep dive into the band's career to date, and obviously at the end, Charlie picked his heroes. Hope you all enjoy the podcast. Please keep commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing wherever you can, but more importantly, enjoy.
Our life untouched, so we both joke this will come if you stay.
On the podcast this time out, I've got Charlie McNichol, frontman of the Rolling People, Stockport band. Just released their latest single, the start of the month, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Edge of the Knife. Sorry, I've got it all wrote down in different bits.
Nice one.
But Edge of the Knife came out two or 3 weeks ago, and we're going to talk about that. Plus, we're going to deep dive through your career to date. And what I like to do to start, Charlie, is go right back to the start. What was life like for you as a young nipper growing up?
Yeah, I mean, we're only 20 and 19, so we only started the band about 3.5 years ago. It was like just after we've finished school, so yeah, me and Elliot, the guitarist, we used to just jam on guitars in his front room and my front room and stuff. And yeah, we always wanted to be in a band and stuff and get a band sorted, but we didn't really know anyone who could play. And then we got George in the drummer, who was in our school, but I wasn't really mates with him at the time. And yeah, and then Asa, our bassist, he's been one of my best mates for years and years, since like the start of high school. But then on the last day of school, everyone's in a park, get a big piss up and that. And then he just came up to us and he was like showing us these tunes he was listening to, and I was like, yeah, you're into some decent tunes. Do you want to play bass? And yeah, I think the next day he went and got a bass, and that was the start of it, really. Yeah.
Right. So obviously, like you mentioned, like he was into the same sort of music. So what sort of influences and musicians did you have around about then?
At the time, I mean, it's different now because when you mature, your taste matures and stuff, and you get different influences. But at the time, I think everyone around Manchester and Stockport and stuff, everyone grows up on like Oasis and all the Britpop stuff. But yeah, I think to be fair, one of the first bands that we mentioned on that field that day was a band called The Ordinary Boys.
Right.
Which are a band who are about in like early 2000s.
Yeah, mine seen them at Tina Park, man. Again, brilliant live
They're
performance.
really good. Like they're the first record that Over the Counterculture. That's what's still one of my favorite records. I think it's just got that really punky energy about it.
Yeah.
And they're massive like Morrissey and Smiths fans. So like they've got that kind of lyricism as well. So it's like it's a good combination. I think they supported Weller back in the day as well. So
Yeah, absolutely class. As I say, when I seen them at Tina Park, I think one of the songs Preston was hanging off the girders at the top of the stage playing the guitar. So that's maybe something you want to bring into your live performance.
Do a bit of acrobatics. Last band, man. Other stuff, I don't know. Obviously, we're named after a Verve song, The Rolling People. So we love all that.
I was
Uh,
going to touch on that later because obviously I was delving through your Instagram and then I kind of went onto your personal one and there was two or three kind of nods to the Verve on that. So
yeah, man. Yeah,
um,
they're a big inspiration for us. I think, yeah, Richard Ashcroft is one of the best vocalists of all time. I think
mhm.
his songwriting's amazing. So yeah, but I
And
think I think with the Verve, I think they're so underrated, and everyone thinks. I see a lot on TikTok with like the younger audience. Everyone says, "Oh, the Verve are a one-hit wonder." But if you look into it, they've like the amount of good stuff they've got is unreal.
mhm.
It's not, and it took them a while to get to that level because they released a few albums before Urban Hymns.
Yeah, I mean the
But
albums before Urban Hymns, man, there's some cracking songs on there.
I think it was just less commercial. Like it was more shoegazy, which was not, I don't know,
Hmm.
didn't appeal to the mass audience. But yeah.
And obviously you touched on meeting every day at kind of school and kind of forming that way.
Yeah.
So was there nothing else, no previous bands? It was just straight into the
Ah,
Rolling
literally
People.
not. No, literally, it's our first and only band. Um, George, the drummer, he was playing for a long time, but he'd never really been in a band. Obviously, Asa learned bass to be in the band.
Right.
He'd never.
That's commitment, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and we probably had a gig about a month later, so we was like learning these songs, like trying to fucking get these songs down. For this gig. And I think that was our first ever gig at the Castle in Manchester, which is a class venue if you've ever
Hmm.
been. It's like only a small room, but it's got the good vibe. And we were 16. I think you had to be 18 at the time. We were like 16, like playing this venue. We shouldn't have even been in there. Um, but it was just, I don't know, like it, even from the first gig, it was just a good vibe. Like we got quite a few people down, just grafted people that we know, like friends and family and stuff, just to come down. Um, and yeah, it was a good start.
Yeah. And so that leads me into the next thing that I was going to talk about, like your early gigging and the kind of the scene, like Stockport, and then obviously latterly into Manchester. So what was the scene like, and what was it like when you started, and has it evolved now?
Nah, it's good. It was good, man. Like we didn't gig in Stockport. We've done, I think we've done two gigs in Stockport because there's not Stockport's really good and it's getting better, but there's not loads of venues where you can play.
Hmm.
It's not. There is a few bands and stuff, but I think it was better for us to go straight to Manchester. It's only like 20 minutes on the train as well, so it's like it's not far at all, and
Yeah,
it's a way richer like scene in Manchester. There's a lot more bands and venues to play. So yeah, so we played our first gig in December of 2022, I think, or 2021. I can't remember. 2022, I think. And then yeah, we just carried on doing gigs like in Manchester, supporting other bands, um, and just like Myra and our mates and family to come down.
hmm,
Um, because I think at first, like when you're in a band, especially in Manchester, there's like we'd never we'd never played gigs or anything, so we didn't really know anything about it. So you feel a big pressure off the promoters to be
yeah,
like, all right, you need to sell 20 tickets, 30 tickets. And then you're like, oh shit, right, I need to text everyone I know to come down. And it's a graft, but that kind of instills the work ethic in you for later on, I think.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, I've been managing a band. I've just stopped recently, but obviously we're in Glasgow, and it's see the pressure to kind of, as you say, to sell tickets. And I think the first time they played King Tut's, they sold just short of 100 tickets. But see, the next time that you play, you're
Yeah,
expecting to sell the same amount of tickets. But a lot of, if it's friends and family, a lot of them will come and see you a couple of times, and then the novelty wears off. So it's
yeah,
then
of
about
course. You
building
can
and growing the
wider
fan
out.
base.
Yeah, of course.
So
It was a
how have you kind of how have you got into that kind of growing the fan base? Just playing
like
lots of gigs.
it was a good timing really because at the time when we started gigging, we were in college, and you have a lot of like in college, everyone's just getting to the age where they'll go out to Manchester and start going to gigs and stuff. Um, so we were doing these gigs in Manchester and just mithering everyone at the college to come down. So yeah, we did our first headline gig at a place called 33 Oldham Street in the Northern Quarter, and that sold out on the day, which was like we weren't expecting it to. And I mean, it was only like a smallish room, so but it's still a good achievement. And then it kind of just went from there, and but it turns out so our manager was promoting that gig that night,
Hmm.
and then he kind of took us under his wing, John, and yeah, just went from there, man. Like we just worked well together, and yeah, just carried on gigging and stuff. And the headline gigs got bigger and bigger. Um, and I think part of it comes down to like we've been quite ballsy with it, like with the gigs that we've put on, and like just gone for it. Um,
Yeah, I mean, like you're looking at the stuff. You played some cracking venues already.
yeah, of course. I mean, we headlined, we did 33 Oldham Street, then a place called Rebellion in Manchester, then Academy 3, which that was the first gig where we thought, right, what just happened there? That was mint because we were expecting it sold out, and we were expecting it to be like friends and family, and then people they'd like got down, but
Hmm.
came out, and it was like that was the first time that we had a lot of people that we didn't know in the crowd, and it's like, oh, are these actually fans? Do you know what I mean?
And see, like, seeing like new faces, does that give you more of a buzz then? Or is it a different
Oh, and
type
that
of
was like,
buzz?
yeah, that was the first gig where it was like, oh, I've never seen them before. They're all jumping about and moshing and all that to songs that we've written. Like it gives you a proper fire to
Mhm.
like carry on.
And
Uh, but yeah, and then we did Plan on the Wall, and then recently in December we did the Ritz, which is our biggest ever headline.
yeah, I was going to get to that later on. This is one of the things. Obviously, I've had a kind of a lot of bands for in about your area, and they all kind of talk about the kind of the venues, and it's that natural kind of step up. There seems
Yeah,
to be that there's the same sort of thing in Glasgow. There's kind of a progression of venues, which
yeah, that's the
you
good
find
thing
that
about.
helpful.
Yeah, that's a good thing in Manchester. Like you've got venues at every level really, going from 80 cap rooms to Corp Live, Sweaty
Mhm.
3000. Do you know what I mean? There's kind of stepping stones to aim for next and stuff like that. And yeah, the Ritz was just unreal. So that's yeah.
So obviously you started the gigging, and then at some point you need to kind of get into a studio and start recording music. So what was that like initially the first time getting into a studio?
Yeah, that was like completely alien to us. Like we'd never done anything like that. Um, it kind of linked back to when I said that we met our manager on at that gig at 33 Oldham Street.
Did he come on board directly after that then?
Yeah, kind of. He kind of was like, right, I'll help you out there, and then it kind of just was like, right, well, do you want to manage? And like, yeah, that happened. So he knew a guy. We firstly went in to this guy that he knew at Salford Uni, to do a few demos.
Hmm.
Um, and then they kind of turned out better than we thought they would. Looking back on them now, the production, like, it's it's very raw and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It sounds like a young band, younger
Hmm.
than us, but we're still happy with them. Do you know what I mean? Like
Is
the
this the
first,
stuff on an introduction EP?
that's an introduction. So we, an introduction wasn't ever an EP.
But
They
it's the
were,
way
that
that it
was,
gets released in it, and then Spotify just kind of bump it
yeah.
in for you.
So we were released. The World Is Mine, Better Man, Disguise, and then there was a B-side on The World Is Mine as well.
Hmm.
And then after, so when we were releasing our actual first EP, which is called Before It's Gone,
Hmm.
kind of just packaged the first few singles up as an introduction, kind of to bookmark, because it was more, that was like the first stage of us as a band, and we weren't even supposed to be releasing them. They were more demos, but they just got released in the end. So,
It's
uh,
funny that though, because again, like with the band that I was managing, it's kind of it's you can record a couple of things and they might just be as demos, but then because you're getting new music out and you've got fans want to hear it, you end up it's just easier to kind of put something out because it's so fast. You can do it so easily with DistroKid or whatever, and
yeah.
just get something out there.
And there's no regrets at all about releasing them songs because they really helped us out. Better Man and Disguise, they did really well. Um, yeah, like there's no regrets at all because they're still Better Man is still a key song in the set that we play. And loads of people love it.
Hmm.
And it helped us out a lot. So there's no regrets. But yeah, it's like you can see a difference in the quality of songwriting and production from there to the stuff we're releasing now.
Hmm.
That's natural, which is I quite like it that is you can see the natural progression.
And how does the writing process work? With you as a kind of frontman? Do you do the majority, or is it a kind of
It's all a joint effort really, because I might come in with like a core idea, and then we'll kind of work on it all together. Whereas it used to be more like I'd just come in with a full song, but it's working better now where one of us comes in with an idea or like a rough kind of draft, and then we all like flesh it out together because I don't know. I feel like we can get more creative with it, and I'm not going to Asa or Elliot or George and saying, right, play this. Do you know what I mean?
hmm.
They can come in with their own influence and style and make their parts their own, and it kind of it's more interesting, I think.
Yeah. So after kind of the introduction stuff,
Yeah,
the next single, "Grateful for Nothing."
yeah,
Um, mate, that's like I've been listening to that all day. See the guitar solo at the end, man, phenomenal.
yeah.
Um,
That's yeah.
so with
That
that
was
being like, if that's kind of if introduction was kind of you finding your feet, and then "Grateful for Nothing's like your first kind of
that was our first
big
proper one.
release.
Yeah, kind of.
Um, it's still kind of obviously it's only a couple of years, but it kind of it's the one that stands out for me still.
It still stands out, and that's when we changed producers to a guy called Dave Pemberton.
Hmm.
Who he did a lot of like the Prodigy stuff and a bit of Kasabian and stuff like that back in the day. Um, but yeah, Grateful for Nothing. When we did I'll Be There with him as well, which I still really like the production on them tracks, to be fair. Um, but I feel like that was when we kind of felt like it was stepping up. We're always trying to step up things. Do you know what I mean? Like in the gigs, like I said before, you're always trying to go up to the next thing. And with songwriting and production, you always want the next song to be better and more interesting and have a wider, I don't know, scope of influence and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But Grateful for Nothing was that still stands up in the set, I think, as like a good song.
yeah, absolute class, man. It's banging.
Nice one.
Um, When did Lab Records come into it?
So Lab kind of John had a meeting with Mark or uh, who's the head guy at Lab. Um, kind of I can't remember, but it was before we released the EP, before it's gone.
Hmm.
So we kind of did I'll Be There and stuff like that, and then I think it might have been before I'll Be There. I think basically he said, "Yeah, we want to sign the band for an EP." So we were buzzing, like we'd never had a record deal or anything like that. So
Yeah, and
we,
obviously they've worked with some. Obviously they've worked with the K's.
yeah, yeah.
I think they've worked with a band up here. One of my pals' bands, the La
They used to have
Fontaine.
they used to have they're a good indie label in Manchester. Like they used to have the Laphams back in the day.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that I think they're a great indie label to get in there. As a young band especially, definitely.
And obviously, like with Lab Records, the connection with the K's. So the K's, a lot of their stuff produced with Gareth Nuttall, who
Yeah, that's
produced
so
some of your newer stuff as well. So is
so after
is that Lab that put you in touch with him?
um kind of. So we had another um we had another manager called Dave who put us in contact with Gaz. And Gaz was the producer that came on after Dave Pemberton.
Hmm.
And he did everything on Before It's Gone, other than Grateful for Nothing and I'll Be There. Um, and that was another kind of stepping stone for us. Um, as in like his studio is really like it's a nice place to be. It's a proper professional. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
What's that? The Lounge, is it called?
Yeah, it's in Wigan. Yeah, the Lounge. It's a really nice studio. But yeah, so we did it all like we did Before It's Gone and stuff with him. And yeah, it kind of clicked straight away. Um, but yeah, it
Yeah,
was
you
really
can see just with the kind of bands, obviously. I think he's worked with the Lilacs as well. He's done
yeah
some stuff with Frank Turner, so you can the lottery winners as well. So you can see that kind of style of band that he likes to work with.
yeah definitely. Um,
Going back to obviously running a bit grateful for nothing, then that's when you've done like your uh, tour, October, around about October to December. You've done London, Sheffield, Leeds, Glasgow, and Manchester. So Glasgow, you played the attic, the garage.
Aerojatic, yeah, that was our
Yeah.
first proper tour really.
So
Um,
I've seen a couple of bands in the attic, man. It's a cracking wee venue, quite small, intimate. I've
yeah,
seen
it's
the
pretty good.
trampoline in there.
That was a pretty good gig actually. That tour was great because it was our first ever tour that we'd done. Um, and yeah, like it was proper surreal to play places that we'd never been to. Do you know what I mean? And to have people there singing the songs back
Hmm.
was like proper surreal for us. And it was like it's obviously dead fun and stuff going up and down the country playing gigs. But yeah, like where else did we play? We played the Grace in London. That was a mint gig. That was like really good.
It's a
Um,
ballsy move, isn't it? Like, see your first time playing London, it
yeah,
must be kind of there must be a lot of stress wondering who's going to be there and all that.
yeah, man, definitely. Like the Grace, the crowd. I remember the crowd was really good there. Like everyone was up for it. I think that's a misconception about London. Like people might think coming down from the north and like the crowd might be more subdued, but like whenever we've played it, everyone's been up for it and like um, but yeah, like it's been really good.
Hmm. And so then that takes us into 2024, and obviously you'd already released Grateful for Nothing, and then
Yeah,
the rest of the singles kept coming. I'll Be
yeah,
There, Before It's Gone, The Thief, and then the EP was completed in August.
Yeah.
Um, Gigging wise, you did a wee spring tour, but before that, you supported the Luke Estate and you supported Andrew Cushion for the first time back then.
They were really good gigs actually. So that was just after we signed to ATC, our agent. So and those like the Lucas Data are a really good live band. And they like I think they took us to Bristol for the first time. And then we played Birmingham for the first time with them. And then with Andrew we played where did we play? Hebden Bridge and Stoke,
Yeah, that's
which were
right.
like a bit of a weird like gig, but it was still a really good crowd. Um,
What's
Obviously, like
Hebden Bridge like for its music? That's where
it was really
Gordon
cool
Raphael
venue.
stays.
Pardon.
The boy that produced the Strokes album.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure
Oh,
that's where he
what's he
stays.
called? I can't
Gordon
remember.
Raphael.
Oh yeah, yeah. He lives there, doesn't he? But yeah, no, there's what was it called? There's it's like a social club, I think,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, I've seen it. I was
But
looking at it
but
earlier.
that is a proper good venue, and it's like pretty like it's a dead cool place. They get like really good artists on, and I think people just come from all over to come and go to that venue and see the gigs because it's a really good venue. But yeah,
Yeah, so you had those gigs, and then you had your own gigs, Nottingham, back to London, and back to Glasgow.
yeah,
This time you played King Tut's. So I mean, like we talk about the progression in Manchester, like the venues, and you've went for the Arctic to Tut's in Glasgow, and you're like setting gigs. So
yeah,
did you notice the step up there?
yeah, 100%.
Maybe not so much in size, but do you feel kind of going into Tuts? Do you feel the
Yeah,
history?
the buzz was definitely there, man. Like we King Tut's was one of those where as soon as we stepped into the venue, we were like, yeah, this is it. This is this is one like an iconic venue that we can tick off. Do you know what I mean? And we didn't quite sell it out, so that's why we're going back and doing it again. But
Mm.
it was pretty rammed, and like the crowd was just really buzzing. And I love playing Glasgow, like we all do. I think it's kind of I feel like there's a connection with Manchester and Glasgow that's really like I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know how to describe
totally.
it.
It's always been there, and it for that famous Oasis gig. There's
Yeah,
always been, and probably before that, but there's
yeah.
always been. I mean, like the following that the Stone Roses got is massive up here.
I think Glasgow like it's got a similar vibe to Manchester. Everyone just loves music and people just want a bit of a release, so they go to gigs and stuff to kind of find some joy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's just a great night for gigging and stuff. But like to be fair, one thing that we found was like you can't buy drinks after 10, like in like a shop. So we were like scrambling around trying to like go to shops and get drinks, and then someone was like, "No, you can't." I was like, you know, but yeah,
So I, and then after that, after the gigs, you supported the K's in Manchester.
yeah, that at Victoria Warehouse, which is like that's a mint venue in Manchester. Um, that was the biggest capacity show that we've played, I think, and like just to like. We were opening up and we were expecting like there wasn't going to be loads of people. But like it was like a lot of people there. It was
Yeah,
kind of I don't know.
it's a cracking lineup though. Obviously,
They
you
had the claws.
yourselves, the Claws, and the K's.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to see the Raytons played Carlin Academy, and I'm not really keen on the Raytons, but I went because the K's and Declan Welsh were supporting, so I paid my money to see the support acts.
Yeah.
And again, a brilliant lineup. And
Yeah.
obviously, it stayed for the Daytons, and they were actually better than I thought.
It's always good though when you go to a gig and they've got good supports.
Yeah,
kind of makes the night even better. Do you know
Well, I
what I mean?
think that the way the kind of the guitar scene's going now, there is so many bands, and they are kind of you will get them on the same lineup. So if you're into one band, you're probably guaranteed to be into them all, really.
Of course, yeah, it's good, man. Like, there's a lot of good new bands coming out. But yeah,
And so you've had all these gigs kind of April time, May you did Sound City, June you did Isle of Wight, and then August you done Newton Festival. So is that your first bunch of festivals then?
yeah.
So
Otherwise,
how did you find your first festival season?
it was really good. Like, Sound City was meant. Um, I think there was like we got told after that we were playing in a venue called Arts Club Theatre in Liverpool. And we got told after there was loads of people queuing up, but like the bouncer was said it was full, but it wasn't. So that was a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. Um, I'm sure we'll play it again, so as always next time. And then Isle of Wight was the first proper festival, like an outdoor festival that we'd done. And we played two sets. We played one on this feeling stage and then one on the river stage, which is a bigger stage, which is like that was pretty wild. That and it kind of like topped off the weekend for us because that was on the Sunday night. Um, and then we got off stage and it was just pretty surreal to like hear Green Day playing in the background.
Hmm.
And not that I'm not a massive Green Day fan, but it was like we've just come off stage and we're playing the same place as them. Do you know what I mean? It's like it was weird, but
They
it was
always
good.
seem to get the weather down there as well for that festival.
Yeah, it was
Always seems to be
roasting. It was
brilliant.
absolutely roasting. I'm pretty sure I was like burnt to a crisp going on stage there, but it was good. It was like one of the best weekends we've had as a band. It was really good.
And then community or the kind of festivals, you then supported the lottery winners.
Yeah, we did a couple. We did like two acoustic shows with them. So I think it was in Tunbridge Wells and then Guildford, I think.
Hmm.
Um, which they were really good as well. Like lottery winners, they're dead nice people. They're lovely people. So it's always great to support them. And hopefully we can do it again in the future. Um, but it's one of those like with all these people who supported it, you're always learning new stuff.
Yeah,
How it's like stagecraft, it's like watching professionals at work, do you know what I mean? And taking a few bits from each to put into your own show or just how you're working, do you know what I mean?
again, I keep going back to that guitar solo and Grateful for Nothing. That's like something that I would expect for Ryan for the case, man. That's
Yeah,
written all hear it. So,
yeah.
and then after that, you're building up to your big show in Manchester, the Ritz. So you did like a wee kind of local tour, Salford, Manchester, and
Yeah,
Stockport, Road to the Ritz tour.
that was good.
Um,
That sold out like straight away.
well,
Uh,
I'd imagine kind of what you're doing there is capitalising on the audience in the area to get them out of the big
yeah,
one.
just kind of going for that local like it was like free. We did a free tickets because we were like we just want to give something back to the fans that are actually coming and
Mhm.
give them the final push to say come to the Ritz. It's our biggest show. This is a taste of what you're gonna see. And it was a good like 3 day kind of thing. Um, I'd definitely do something like that again because it was good to like give something back to the fans. Especially like because we don't play gigs in Manchester and stuff that much.
Mhm.
Because obviously you can't be playing headline gigs like every month, do you know what I mean? You've got to build up to it. So yeah, it was really that was another good one. Uh, I think I definitely want to do more intimate stuff in the future because there's definitely a vibe with the intimate gigs.
Yeah, it get the fans get to see a kind of different side to you as
Yeah,
well.
definitely. Like it was like when we were playing with Andrew, I don't know, we'll get onto that on the recent tour. There was a gig in Edinburgh, which the stage was so small. I think it was called Cabaret Voltaire, the place.
Mhm.
And the stage was so small, and we had to fit our own drum kit as well as Andrew's drum kit onto the stage and all our amps and stuff. So in the end, I was literally wedged between our drum kit and the front of the stage. I had no room to move either way or back and forth, and I was just kind of like wedged in. But you make the most of a bad situation, and it was actually like one of the best ones of the tour. And I don't know, it's got when you're playing in a small venue, it's so intimate with the crowd that I don't know, you kind of have to interact more,
Yeah,
kind of, I don't know, win them over, kind of. Yeah,
yeah, I get you. So obviously before the your Manchester gig, you added in a London show as well, just to
yeah,
just to put the pressure on you a wee bit more. I could do
yeah.
that. So I London the week before Manchester, and the Manchester support you had Quayside and Alex Spencer. So Alex Spencer's my last guest on the podcast, so he was
All
bigging
right.
these up.
Um,
And I've been trying to get Quayside as well there for Liverpool, aren't they?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, same. I think they're the same PR as the Lathams and all that as well. Because
Okay.
I was trying to get all sorts of. I've been on to the
Yeah,
same guy for about 3 or 4 bands.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so I cracking supports and judging by the Instagram as well. He's played the Riverboat song. So
Oh, yeah. That
is
was
that
kind
a
of
common thing or
like
was that?
we always try to do on the headline shows. We always try to do one cover of a song that's I don't know, kind of means something to us.
Hmm.
We've always loved Ocean Colour Scene, and I think Steve Craddock's an unreal guitarist. So we kind of we were kind of choosing what song to do, um, and we just started playing that in the practice room, and we were like, yeah, straight away, we were like, yeah, that was it. So it kind of came together, and it was one of those we did it as the encore. So we played our set, went off, came back on, and just the first thing was that riff. And the crowd loved it. It was really good. But yeah, the Ritz was just amazing. It was probably the best night of my life. Do you know what I mean? And and yeah, the supports were great. Alex is great. He's going to go far.
Yeah.
Quayside are really good as well. Um, but yeah, just having the great supports as well, just to round off the whole night. It was just man.
And like, talking about like the Manchester scene, like see the amount of bands, as I say, I've had quite a few for your area, and they all seem to go and play like a big gig in Manchester around about December.
Yeah,
So Manchester must be the place to go for gigs in December because there seems to be
definitely.
every day seems to be coming home and playing the
Yeah,
big show of the year there.
I like playing like winter gigs. I love it. Like I just when you're playing in the summer or like when it gets hot in these smaller venues, it's just absolutely horrible to play because I sweat a lot as well. So
Yeah, I noticed
Ace for
that
our
for
bass,
the
Ace the bassist, he's just like no beads of sweat, he's just sound, and I'm over there like look like I've had a bucket of water put on my head.
yeah when I seen you in Glasgow the
Yeah,
other month, you were ringing. You could
yeah,
have took that t-shirt off and rung it out. You get a bucket
yeah.
of
But I mean, yeah. So I don't mind playing gigs in the winter. I quite like it because it's a bit cooler. But yeah,
that. And that kind of leads us into this year then. In January, started off the year, played a This Feeling show in Liverpool.
yeah,
Um, what, how much kind of interaction have you had with This Feeling? Because obviously you said you played like the Isle of Wight,
yeah.
This Feeling.
We've done a few bits with this feeling. Yeah, like Mikey's great. Who runs this feeling? Um, and yeah, he's helped us out with Isle of Wight and stuff. And Great Escape. that we
Mhm.
played recently. That was mint. Um, but yeah, been nothing but good to us. So
I
there's
think
no,
if you've got Mikey's batting, it kind of goes a long way.
yeah,
That
definitely, man. And I just think like as long as long as you're good, like you're good and you're sound to people in the industry, there's going to be no complaints. Do you know what I mean? If
yeah,
you're a bit of a knob, then people won't be having it. Um, it's not the 90s anymore. You can't just go around being
yeah,
like dickhead to people because they'll just be like, well, I'm not asked. We won't have you then. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
You've got to be
And
sound to people.
obviously having like this feelings batting. April you played London for Pretty Green, so
Oh, yeah.
I'd
That was
seen like
cool.
kind of Pretty Green. I put you on, added you to quite a few of their playlists and all that. So then to get this Pretty Green gig as well, which I mean, I
That
might seen the viewer played. Kyle Faulkner played like a in store in Pretty Green. It was
was that in Manchester.
Nod in Glasgow, and the one in Glasgow. Um, and see, that'd be my dream to be in a band and just see you get into a shop and say, right, take whatever you want, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So,
It was,
did you get
that
any of
was,
that sort of treatment?
yeah, we got some free stuff, which was kind of as 16-year-old indie lads when we were going around in Pretty Green and that we
Yeah.
wouldn't have thought in a few years that we'd be getting free stuff and playing a gig for Pretty Green. Um, so yeah, that was cool, man. And it was at the same venue that we did a headline at last time in Colours in Hoxton,
Hmm.
which it was good to go back there. And yeah, it was really good.
Then after that, obviously, you mentioned you touched on the Great Escape, and
Yeah.
then that leads us into the Andrew Cushion tour again. So, how did that? Is this because you got on so well the last time you were out with Andrew Cushion?
Yeah. Uh, yeah, like he was completely sound like to us the first time that we played with him. Um, and we'd kind of stayed in contact bits over social media and stuff like that. Um, so and I kind of know his manager Lee, so I kind of further towards it, I just kind of shot him a message as well as our agent kind of pitching us for it and just like saying like what's your thoughts on this? And he was well up for it. So I was just dead thankful to him for having us on.
They got the full tour as well, man. That's like
Yeah, man. Like
that's
that was our thing that we always said like last year we need a support tour because that's where you cut your teeth as a band and learn your craft even more because you're playing night after night supporting, which kind of takes some of the pressure off, but also it kind of puts the pressure on of right, it takes the pressure of selling tickets off, but it puts the pressure on of being like, right, we need to steal some of these fans.
yeah. You need to make a statement. You need to kind of engage, and you're also there to do a job as well. You're also there to build up the crowd for.
Yeah, of course, and warm up the crowd, and I think we did that well. We got like really good like response from the crowd every night, which was really good. And Cushion's team and the whole crew were just good as gold to us. So yeah, we'd love to play with him again at some point. Because yeah, it was like one of the best week and a halves of our career so far. It was
Yeah.
really good.
I mean, I was watching the videos every night, like the updates on Instagram.
Yeah,
It looked mega. And obviously, you mentioned Lee. Obviously, I'd had Andrew on the podcast a while back.
yeah,
So I knew Lee kind of, I know who he is and all that. So I bumped into him at Oranmore,
yeah.
and I was trying to get Andrew back in the podcast, and he recognised me, or he thought, because I came to him and said, Lee, how you doing? He thought I was a label rep for Sony because Sony were
Uh,
coming that night. And he said,
I
"Are you
will.
really for Sony?" And I thought, "No, I'm Martin for the podcast." So he was mega busy. Apparently, he said there was two label guys coming. So if they might have fucking, if they were there early enough and they spotted you, you might be getting a call.
Exactly.
Um, so I, so that kind of takes us up to now, and obviously just released your single.
Edge of
So
the Knife.
what's the reception been for that? Obviously, you brought it out just after the Andrew Cushion tour. So did you notice a kind of spike
Yeah,
in
it's
listens?
been really good. Like, obviously, we were kind of teasing it on the Cushion tour, so telling people this is going to be out soon. So people were buzzing for it, and when we released it, everyone, I feel like it got a really good response, and people from the tour definitely like took it on and was like, because I think people started to learn the words by the end of the tour,
Hmm.
which was cool. Um, and people, it got a really good response, to be fair, which we're buzzing about. And we just want to carry on releasing now, just consistently. Do you know what I mean? Because that was our first release of the year, which is kind of we hadn't released anything since Rain, which was like December last year.
Hmm.
So it was good to get back releasing, and we just want to keep on rolling them out now.
Well, that was kind of next then, like what's coming up. I did have like I had notes and then I'd scrapped the notes and done new notes, but I did. You'll get lots of stuff coming up towards the end of the year, so just kind of enlighten us for the listeners.
Yeah, so we've got a couple more singles coming out, and then we're going back in the studio soon. Um, to record our next project, which will be, I can't wait to get back in the studio. Like, I feel like we've gained so much more knowledge now of, because like three of us out of the band do production. Um, so we kind of have got more knowledge of it. So when we're going into the studio, um, we kind of can know more what we're asking for, or
Yeah,
work with the producer to kind of put our vision out onto the record, which will be good. But then we've just announced the tour as well.
yeah. So you're back in Glasgow again, aren't you?
Yeah,
Amongst
playing
other
King Tut's
dates.
again. So I think, where is it? Let me just get it up. I think it's Barnsley, Grimsby. Where else?
It's December
Barn-
time, isn't it?
yeah, it's December. So Barnsley, Grimsby, Stockton, Sheffield, Glasgow, Brighton, Bristol, Nottingham, and Liverpool. So that's our biggest like UK headline tour that we've done so far, like the longest one.
Hmm.
Uh,
And what
and
date is the Glasgow one? What is it? Is it the 8th of December?
8th of December, yeah.
So I'm trying to think what day that is because I think I've got a gig on the 7th. So
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Nah, King Tut's
initially I thought it clashed, but I think I'll be there for you as well.
definitely, man. Like King Tut's was the first time was insane, so can't wait to come back and do it again. But yeah.
Aye, that'll be really good. And have you got support for that yet? Have you worked at support? Or is
We've
that
not got it yet, but I'm sure they'll be announced in a month or a few months or whatever.
well? If you've no got anything, have a wee look at the High Flats. That's the band that I was managing. Have a look at them because I've been trying to get them on a few supports and we missed it. We missed it. We tried to get them on the Pastel one at
Oh
the
yeah,
start of the year.
yeah,
Um, Cracking band, but they need something like that. They need like to go in with a bigger band.
yeah, definitely, man.
Um, I so that that's coming up. Anything else before we go into your heroes?
What else is there? Just recording more, man. Like as I said, that's we just want to keep pushing on and doing more gigs and recording more. But yeah, that's about it.
No big Manchester show in December, is there?
Uh, Not December, but maybe soon. I don't know. We will have to wait and see.
And obviously, before we go into your heroes, obviously, as I say, you go with Meg Wynn as well.
Yeah,
So I had
Yeah,
her on the podcast as well, probably around about the same time as Andrew Cushion.
yeah,
Um, Aye, a big shout out to Meg. Obviously, she did a song not that long ago as well.
yeah.
Um,
But just been at the Isle of Wight, which she said that was good.
right. So when
Yeah.
she came on the podcast, she was sporting a cracking Guinness jumper. So
Oh yeah.
she won me over with that jumper.
I think
Um,
she's lost that now, to be fair.
but I so kind of own. So how does that work with you and Meg? Do you ever feel like in competition with her, or do you ever
But
write together or anything like that?
nah, not really. There's no competition obviously at all, but we kind of just keep ourselves to ourselves and in like the music side. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it must be tough when kind of you look like, oh no, she's got that support sort and I can't get that or whatever. It
Yeah.
must be.
Nah, just happy for each other, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I last bit of the podcast, obviously, good time for heroes. Asked my guest to pick four heroes to come for dinner. Why are
Yeah.
they heroes and what would you cook for them? Just to see how good a cook you are.
Right. Um,
Obviously, they can be musicians, sportsmen, whatever you like. They don't all need to be. They can be whatever
right.
you want. And
Okay.
they could be dead or alive, obviously.
I reckon Paul Weller.
I kind
'Cause
of figured, see, when you were talking about Ordinary Boys and then Steve Craddock and all that, I thought, I hope he
yeah,
picks Paul Weller.
he's like he's the man. And then I reckon Keith Moon. He'll be a bit of fun, won't he? I mean, and then who else? Mm, John Lennon, maybe. Get
John
everyone
Lennon's
right.
the most picked ever. I think
Yeah, I
every
think that's
second
fun.
guest picks John Lennon.
And then I reckon, don't know, I'll pick someone who's not a musician. Ricky Gervais, I reckon. He's funny, so
Ricky Gervais is an acquired taste. I love him. My missus cannot stand him. She hates his
yeah,
laugh. See, like I listen to see all the old podcasts with him and Carol Pilkington.
yeah.
And
No, I love
obviously,
Ricky Gervais, man.
just
Like,
ripping the piss out of Carol and just Ricky Gervais is constantly laughing, and my missus hates it. She hates it.
yeah, everyone, all the lads in the band love The Office. That we can all watch it and just like piss ourselves laughing every time. But yeah, I know people who will like just hate it, but I don't know, we love it. So
Yeah, I think it is one of the things in it. It's you either love it or hate.
yeah, definitely, man,
Just
definitely.
on that as well with Paul Weller and Paul Weller, John Lennon, and Keith Moon, three fucking cool cats.
Legend, man.
Um, there was a picture of you on Instagram as well with Johnny Marr.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
so
that was at Isle of Wight.
I,
So
he never made the cut for the Heroes, man, because he would go down a treat with all of them as well.
we'll put him in there as well.
I've been messaging him. I was messaging him yesterday trying to get him on the podcast. I was watching him on that Stick to Football the other day.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Now, so we just come off stage at Isle of Wight and we were like loading up all the gear and me and our guitar tech Matt, we were just there, and I think the other lads were waiting for the buggy to bring up the other gear. And I, as a joke, I was just like, "Oh, I bet that's Johnny Marr's tour bus." And then he walked off it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I was like, "Right, I've got to ask him. I've got to go chat to him." So I went up to him, and he was like, he was the soundest guy ever. He was dead nice, and
I've heard that. I've
like
heard
he actually,
whoever he speaks to, he's dead accommodating with.
yeah, he's dead nice, and Um, he knew of us as well, which was mental because
Right.
he knows there's this guy who sells guitars near us. I think he told him about us, so that was just pretty mental that he knew the name, the Rolling People, which was that was cool. But yeah, he couldn't have been nicer to us.
Always a chance of him joining the Rolling People at some point. That's what he was saying on that Stick to Football. He doesn't leave bands, he just joins other bands.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
in there, play a guitar solo or something on a.
Yeah, that would
Uh,
be the ideal. And what you cooking this bunch, I thought?
I'm not a good cook, man. I'll just cook them tea and toast or something. That's all I can do, man.
That's all right, man. You can't be as long as it's a good bit of breeding, like the nice salty butter, man. That's
Oh yeah, like you can't beat a bit of toast sometimes.
yeah. Aye, that's an absolute pleasure, man. Cracking bunch of heroes.
Thank you for having us.
It's been a pleasure speaking to you today. Obviously, for the listeners, if you've not already heard, go and check out Edge of the Knife and the rest of the Rolling People's back catalogue, and stay tuned for more music this year.
Yeah,
Um,
thank
Go and see them on their tour as well. I'll post links and all that to all that on the show notes. But aye, for coming on the day, it's been an absolute pleasure, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
I'll see you again.
I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Time for Heroes podcast. If you would like to get in touch, the best way is on the Facebook page, Time for Heroes podcast, or on Instagram at Time for Heroes podcast, or Twitter at Time for Heroes P1, or drop me an email at timeforheroespod@gmail.com. You'll find Time for Heroes on all podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple, Google, and Amazon. Please leave a review where you can, share with others, and more importantly, enjoy.